I could comment. I want to make sure we are all set. So I think we should be good. So as we are getting started, just a few things I want to set some expectations. First, I want everybody. Oh, let me actually turn this down. What I want everybody to comment where you coming from. Let me know in the chat where you coming from. I just want to make sure we all good. And when you comment, right, there's going to be two options for you to comment to hosts and panelists, and then there's going to be an option for you to comment to everyone. We want you to comment so everyone can see your communication. Everyone can see that there's like-minded action takers and entrepreneurs, people that really want more. So comment. We got Chicago, we got Philly, we got
There
Delaware.
we go.
Yo,
There we
Philly in the
go.
building. Yo, boom, that's your people.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's his
Uh-huh.
people. Philly in the
And
building.
look, I want y'all to put 10/18 if y'all gonna be there on October 18th. Put 10/18 in the chat. If y'all know, y'all already know. Put 10/18 in the chat if y'all gonna be there. Bingo, bingo, bingo,
Yeah.
bingo.
Perfect, perfect. So really, really quick, right? We want to jump right into it. We don't want to waste no time, but we need you to give us your complete undivided attention for the next 90 minutes. I don't want you scrolling on social media. We don't want you texting anybody. We don't want you distracted by no family, no friend. If you got to go into a corner for the next 90 minutes, if you got to leave the house, I don't care what you do. We need your complete undivided attention and focus for the next 90 minutes. And if you can commit to that, please type commit in the chat. I just want to make sure we have the commitment because we are committing to giving you as much value over these next 90 minutes. So I just want to make sure we're good. I'm going to pass it back to you, Joy. You can let them know exactly what the goal is here for this workshop. Okay, there we go. Olympia, she here. She locked in. Andrea locked in, committed. Who else we got? Danielle committed. Martin committed. All right, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna pass to you, Joe. Let us know. Let them know what we got going on.
Oh wait, I want because Joy about to go and she about to like the whole thing. I want to just add one thing. I want everybody in here be open and committed, but also open to receive. You about to get a lot of information, about to get a lot of game. And if you guys are not in the space to be willing to receive the information, it's gonna be like we talking to a brick wall. Comment got it and share if you guys got that. Because we don't want to just be up here talking to a brick wall. We want to make sure you guys are willing to receive. I believe this 100% that life though God throws you $1 million footballs every single day. $1 million football every single day. But if you walking around with your hands closed, not even open to receive things, you're not catching no plays. You're not gonna be able to score. So I need you guys to be open. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna walk around here closed minded, closed fist. Let me actually be open to receive the things that Joey's talking about. Open to receive the things that Marmel's talking about. Open to things that I'm talking about. So that way it can actually work. But if you walk around here like I'm just on here, but I'm like this, it's not doing you any good. So if you guys got that, put God in the chat because we want to throw y'all some $1 million plays, but we need you guys to have your hands open. All right. I want to pass it to Josh. I want to make sure I add that piece in.
Okay. Well, I'm on live, so I can't have my little timer on. So hold on. So 7.
Oh, you good? Just flow. Just flow.
Okay. So how is everyone doing tonight? So we are going to be breaking down how are we going to acquire generational wealth. So anyone type me in the comments if you want your kids to have a better life than you had, if you want your grandkids to have an easier road than you have, if you want your niece, your nephew, if you want your family to not have to get it out the mud, to not have to struggle how you did, comment me in the comments because this is what we're breaking down. I'm going to tee it off. I'm going to break down how we're going to structure our businesses, things that we can use to protect our assets, that when we acquire them, we don't just lose them. And then what are some things we need to have in place so when we do leave this earth, when we do die, our heirs, our kids, our loved ones will be in a better position than a worse position. Okay, so let me first share my screen. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can see a green screen before I get to run. Okay, great. Okay. Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Joy. I'm your business bestie. I have been a business attorney and a serial entrepreneur for the past 20 something years. And these are some of the brick and mortar businesses that I have started. So a lot of y'all may have seen me jigging on TikTok, jigging on Instagram, but I am not an influencer. I am really a brick and mortar business owner / business attorney I've now started, an online platform teaching entrepreneurs basically my blueprint for how to get your business to the bank. So here are some business structure basics. Number one, we want to make sure that we have some kind of business entity. So if we're doing business, we don't want to do business as a sole proprietor, as a DBA, because if we do, then we're out here doing business, exposing our assets, right? If something were to happen, I were to get sued, I would then lose my house, my car, the money in the bank, and we don't want that. So what you want to do is you want to form an LLC or a corporation that's going to separate you from your business. So we're not forming it because you're making all this money. We're forming it for what's called asset protection, okay? Having an LLC or a corporation also makes your business look credible. It's also going to reserve the name of your business in your state. And now your business can now also get funding. It can apply for business grants. It can get lines of credit. It can get loans. Here are your business structure basics. You want to first have an LLC or a corporation. You're then going to have your EIN number, your employer identification number. You're going to have a business address. So if you work from home, you don't have an actual brick and mortar, you want to make sure that you get what's called a virtual address. You don't want to have your home address, an apartment complex, a P.O. box. You don't want to have that listed on your articles of organization. You also want to make sure that we have a business bank account and that the business bank account represents the true income of the business. So for my cash heavy businesses, make sure that we don't just make cash today and then on the way home we spend it. You want to make sure that that's getting into the bank so that your business gets credit for the income that it's making. We also want to make sure that we're filing what's called our LLC annual report. That's going to make your LLC active every single year. If you don't file the report, your state can make your LLC inactive. And then although you've formed an LLC, if it's inactive, it's like you don't have an LLC. And if something were to happen, we can now get your personal assets, and we don't want that. Then the last thing we want to make sure that we have is going to be a contract for our business called our operating agreement. Our operating agreement. Now, here's Eric. Eric is a real estate investor. He owns some real estate and he also owns a restaurant. However, he owns them both in the same LLC. So Eric owns his restaurant and his rental properties in the same LLC. Eric got sued. Someone got sick at his restaurant. They sued him. He lost, and he lost the lawsuit. Now, although the restaurant has nothing to do with the real estate, because he combined both businesses in one LLC, he combined the risk and the liability. So because he lost the lawsuit, they took two properties from Eric due to that lawsuit. For anyone on here who has multiple businesses, we want to make sure that we don't combine businesses in one LLC. We don't want to have one LLC and a whole bunch of DBAs. So how Eric should have protected himself is each business should have been its own LLC. So the restaurant got sued, they'll lose the restaurant stuff, but they won't lose any of his real estate. Now, Eric also had a daughter, and he allowed his daughter to drive his car to go to the mall. However, on her way to the mall, she ran a red light, she hit someone, and she killed them. Well, because Eric owned the car, and he owned the car in his name, Eric got sued. Eric lost the lawsuit, and therefore they took his car, his last rental property, and they took his business. When you are a business owner, you are now a liability. All the assets that you have in your name, if something were to happen and you caused the problem, you could lose the assets, okay? So one way that we can protect ourselves and protect our assets is through holding companies. Holding companies. So a holding company is going to be simply an LLC or a corporation that we're going to use to actually own the asset. So what Eric could have done to protect himself, he could have had his real estate in his holding company and had an operating LLC that did his real estate. So when he got sued, he'll lose whatever the real estate company owns, but he wouldn't lose his assets. There will be a lease agreement between these two companies, and every single month, the operating LLC will pay the holding company a lease fee for being able to use the assets. So separating your assets from your operation of the business, or separating your assets from your name, business owners, if you were to cause the liability, if you were to get into a car accident, if somebody sued you, anything in your name is now going to be exposed. Okay, so we want to protect ourselves by doing different things, using different tools. One of those is going to be a holding company. Now, an anonymous LLC is another way of protecting yourself, because you're kind of removing your name from people being able to Google and see what do you have. There are 4 states that allow an anonymous LLC, which means when you go to the Secretary of State and you go online, it doesn't show the business owner's information. So Delaware, Wyoming, New Mexico, and Nevada are going to be the 4 states that don't show the owner's information online at the Secretary of State. So here would be examples of articles of organization or your LLC documents for Louisiana. Here you'll see they're going to list the actual owner's name and address. However, on Wyoming, there is no owner's name. This is going to be the business name and the registered agent address and the business address. So the owner's name is concealed. Another way of structuring your business will be by having a parent company. So holding companies own assets, parent companies own businesses. Holding companies own assets, parent companies own businesses. So you can either own all of your business in your own name, just have separate LLCs, or you can have one main entity that owns all of your businesses. Well, why would someone want to have a parent subsidiary structure? Well, some people may not want their information listed on the Secretary of State's website. So if I didn't want my name on Texas's Secretary of State website, I would form a parent company, and then the parent company would then form the LLC in Texas. That way, Joy's name isn't on as the owner. Joy's LLC is the owner on that LLC name. Another reason why you may want to have a parent subsidiary format is because you may want to get funding, but you're currently in a high risk industry. So certain industries like real estate, construction, tax preparation, credit repair, car dealerships, banks consider those as what's called high risk. If I had Joy's dealership, I won't get maximum funding. However, if I had a parent company, I could take the profits of the Joy's dealership, the high risk business, move them up via a management fee to my parent company, and then go get funding from my parent company. So that's another reason why I may want to have a parent subsidiary format. I may not want to have to take payroll from 3 different businesses. So I could take the profits from all 3 businesses, move them up to my parent company, and I'll take payroll from just one company. Also, by having a parent company that's not actually doing business, I can form that parent company in an anonymous LLC state and give myself anonymity. So those would be several reasons why you may want to have a parent company. So if you're looking for a bulletproof structure, you will want to have a trust, which we're about to get to in a second. The trust will own your parent company, and your parent company will own your other businesses, and your holding company will be set aside owning the assets. We never connect the holding company to the other businesses. Just in case something happens, our assets are protected. Now, Eric got really sick and was in the hospital for 6 months. Because Eric couldn't work and he was the sole provider, Eric lost his source of income, which caused his son to have to leave private school and go to a brand new school. Eric ended up dying, but he had a will. And what Eric didn't know is with a will, your beneficiaries, your loved ones, don't get the assets immediately. So his wife wasn't able to get any of his money that was in his account because it had to go through probate. And because she couldn't access the money, they actually lost the house. So What are some estate planning things that we can do to make sure that we don't lose our assets? Number one is by having a trust. A trust is going to be a legal document, a piece of paper that can own assets. It can own businesses, vehicles, trademarks, real estate, but it's a private agreement, meaning no one can just go on Google and say, what's in Joy's trust? There are two types of trust. There's a revocable living trust and an irrevocable living trust. A revocable living trust is going to be the most popular trust. This trust allows you to put an asset in. If you change your mind, you can remove the asset. Because you're able to touch the asset, control the asset while you are alive, the revocable living trust does not give you any asset protection while you are alive. Well, then why would I want to have a revocable living trust if it doesn't give me any asset protection? I'm so glad you asked. What a trust does is on behalf on your when you die, the second you die, your assets can go immediately to your beneficiaries. So you don't have to have attorney's fees. We don't have to go through probate court, which probate courts may run about 6 months to a year. So it protects your assets upon your death because your heirs get your assets immediately. They don't have to wait. Unlike a will, they have to wait. Well, what is this trust that people keep talking about that gives me asset protection? The second type of trust is called the irrevocable trust, the irrevocable living trust. Once you put an asset in this trust, it is bulletproof. It is good to go. No one can touch it. However, you can't touch it either. You can't say just kidding and remove the asset. You can't move the asset to another business. You can't acquire any debt on the asset. Once you put the asset in an irrevocable living trust, you no longer have control over it. So for this reason, most business owners don't want to relinquish control because you may need an asset to go get a loan, to go zig and zag, to go do something for your business. So for this reason, a lot of business owners choose a holding company to own the assets. They'll have a revocable living trust that doesn't give them any asset protection while they are alive, but their revocable living trust can turn into an irrevocable living trust upon their death. And then that way, when their assets get passed on to their heirs, another benefit of having an irrevocable living trust is that whatever assets your heirs get, it remains their separate property. So Boone owns a lot of real estate. Upon his death, he's going to give it to his son. If his son marries the wrong woman and she takes his son to divorce and she thinks I'm about to get all of Boone's property, surprise, she's not. So the property always remains your heirs' separate property. It never becomes community property. That way, if they get divorced, they will not lose the assets. So here are some estate planning things that we got to have. Number one is going to be a trust. Number two is going to be what's called a pour over will. This will be a will that says any asset I own upon my death that I didn't physically go and put in my trust, if I didn't do the paperwork to put it in my trust, immediately goes to my trust upon my death. You want to have what's called a medical power of attorney. If something were to happen to you, who has control over what happens in the hospital? Now, you may want your mom or your spouse to be that person, but they may not be the best person around money. They may have a bingo problem, a casino problem. So for that reason, we can have a separate person that's going to be what's called your financial power of attorney. They're over the finances of your estate. You also want to make sure you have what's called a bank account beneficiary. Upon your death, this person is able to access your funds. So you don't have a gap in having to wait to go through probate court or having to get to the attorney's office to get the trust read. A person can immediately get your money and be able to pay for things to keep everything copacetic in your household. And then last but not least, life insurance. And life insurance with what's called a living benefit. So if I were to get really sick while I'm alive, I could still get paid with my life insurance policy. So I covered how we're going to structure our business, how we're going to protect our assets. Now we have to act to go acquire some assets. So I'm going to have Boone come on up, and Boone's going to break down how are we going to get assets via real estate.
What's up? What's up? What's up? So yeah, this is 100% live. I don't know why people ask that. It is
Are we not
7:21
giving
p.m.
live
Yes,
energy? Like,
this
come
is
on.
live, 1000% live. It is October 8th. This is 1000% live. But before I go ahead and go, I need everybody in here. You know, guys, I love giving people their flowers. So I need everybody in here to go ahead and comment. Thank you, Joy, for sharing the game, sharing this information. What she's talking about is extremely, extremely, extremely important because I'm gonna show you guys how to get assets, buy property, things like that. But if you don't have them properly protected, even outside of just a trust, if you don't have it protected in the LLC, you can really get all this stuff wiped away. I have shit, full disclosure. Was about to buy this property, and this is so crazy, Joe. I was about to buy this property, and the deal had to terminate. This was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and because the guy owned the property in his personal name, he had like a tens of thousands of dollars pretty much judgment on him that attached to the property. So he wasn't able to sell the property to me because it tied up a lot of other things.
Mhm.
So when she talks about asset protection, it's like I love these conversations. I literally live all of this stuff. Like I literally go through these problems. This because he owned the property in his first name, it tied up other things based on some other stuff he had. So he was not able to sell it to me. So now I was buying a property for $260,000. That got wiped away because some other things he had going on because everything was in his personal name. So I need everybody put in the chat, put LLC. LLC. Everybody in the chat put LLC. That is the first line of defense. And then you take it to the next level, like she said, with trust, estates, all those different types of things. But it is so important to make sure you guys have your assets protected because you can have things like bankruptcy, child support, using print, all these things can all tie to your assets to where now your stuff is tied up and you can't make a move that you want to go and make. Everybody got it? Comment, got it in the chat. You guys got it. IRS debt, all of those things. I'm telling you, it is real. I deal with it all the time on the other end of the field where I'm trying to buy someone's property and then they can't sell it because they got all this stuff tied up because they bought the stuff in their personal name. So you guys won't have that problem because she already explained how to do X, Y, and Z. So now I want to go ahead and tell you guys how to actually get the assets now that you know how to really much protect them. So before we go and get started in there, I want to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Derek Boone. I'm a real estate investor based in Philadelphia. If you guys in Philly again, put Philly in the chat. I've been doing this since 2017. I owned a house pretty much right before 2017, but 2017 is when I actually got started in this business making money. So the house that I lived in, but 2017 is when I said, you know what, let me actually do this and do this on a high level because I'm fed up. And I want to show you guys so you guys can understand this, right? A lot of people see me now like, oh, you own millions of dollars with real estate. You have made millions in this business. You have helped thousands, tens of thousands of people. I actually checked my database. I've helped and taught over 100,000 people, and we have doing this. But I want to show you guys like this is how everything started for me. 1 second. I want to share the screen. This is literally how everything started for me. This was me literally working at a retirement home. I was making $10 an hour at this retirement home. And this was just me on break. I used to work 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and I had a lunch break between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. And when I got to my fed up point, everybody put fed up in the chat if you guys at that point. And what I want y'all to realize is fed up doesn't mean that you're broke. Fed up means I'm just not fully fulfilled, or I'm just not getting the best use of my time, or I'm just not doing anything that really, really, motivates me, or I feel good about what I'm doing on my day to day. And me, it was a little bit of everything. Me was the money, and I just wasn't fulfilled. So I was making $10 an hour. So my checks was pretty much like $600 every 2 weeks. Over time, it would hit 750, 720. And when I got to that fed up moment, like, yo, I gotta get the hell up out of here. I actually made a decision. Everybody put decision in the chat. You have to make a decision. That's the only way things are going to start changing. That's the first step. So I made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm going to learn every single thing I need to know about real estate. The reason why I chose real estate was because I didn't have a college degree. The job I worked at before this was McDonald's, so I didn't have a strong resume. I didn't have a lot of resources. My credit was bad. My money was down. Everything was just, it wasn't clicking. But real estate was one of those things that I love teaching to people because it doesn't require a degree. It doesn't require a whole lot of money. It doesn't require a resume. It doesn't require even a high school diploma. Anybody, I can put anybody on when it comes to this stuff. So I use my 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., my 60-minute lunch break to get out of my 8-hour shift. learned real estate, took my classes. I found that one mentor that helped me out. It's funny, I actually talked to him earlier today, and he taught me what I needed to know about real estate, taught me what I needed to do, and actually gave me a strategy. I ran with it. I got started. I actually got my license in real estate April 2017, and I'll share with you guys in a second. You don't need a license. That's just the way I started because that's what my mentor had taught me. From April, I got my license March 2017. I sold my first house April 2017. By December, I had sold 20 something houses that year, and that's what kickstart every single thing for me. But it all started with you guys making a decision first. I made a decision like, yo, I can't stay in this space. I can't stay in this break room. I can't stay in this job. I can't keep wearing this work uniform. I can't keep serving elderly people. I can't keep seeing them have all this money. Their kids come up here with all this money and they doing all these great things. And the kids is just, I got to go ahead and do something for myself. And real estate was the thing, but I made that decision and I made it happen. So what I want to share with you guys today is how you guys can actually put this stuff together and not need a lot of money to go and do that. Put great in the chat. That sounds great. That's my whole thing tonight. In these next 20 minutes, the time that 15, 20 minutes that I have, I want to show you guys how you can go ahead and build wealth and also make money today, but also make money later without needing millions and millions of dollars out of pocket. Comment me in the chat if you're someone that's like, I wanted to get in real estate. I want to start building wealth. I want to start you having cash flow, but I always thought that I needed 200, 300 grand out of pocket. I always thought I needed 800 credit score. I always thought I needed all these things, but I'm telling you guys right now, I personally done it and still do it to this day. I don't need a whole bunch of resources. The last time my credit was checked, the last time I had a bank statement check, the last time any of these things checked was been a long time. So I want to share with you guys today. And the reason why I love real estate is, like I said, you guys can make money now and you can make money later. And when I show you guys some of the things that I'm doing, it's like our minds well. Everybody put minds well in the chat. It's like our minds well build wealth. Our minds well buy real estate because it's not as difficult as it seems. You just have to get that difficult mindset out of you. One of the things I see that people do is they make things difficult. Comment me if you guys know somebody or you personally do this. Yo, you just need to do 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Now it got to be another step. You just got to go here and make a left. No, it got to be a loophole. It got to be something else. Like we make things more difficult than need to be. So I want to share something. At this point, it's been a week and a half. It's been a week and a half now. I bought my son a property. And the reason why I bought this property is because I got it for a great price. It didn't need a lot out of me. And I wanted to make sure he's starting to build wealth. And then I also own 3 other properties on this block. And the biggest thing when this specific deal is it only cost me $8,000 out of pocket to go and do that. So I'm going to show you guys real quick so you guys can see the proof. You guys can see it cost me $8,275 to go ahead and buy this. It's all I needed out of pocket to go and do that. And for you guys, it's like, how is that possible? I follow a specific formula on every single deal I do, and this would make sure that I don't lose. Everybody got to put ready in the chat if you guys ready for this. I follow this simple math. It's not even no E equals MC squared, not even no Albert Einstein stuff. I follow a simple formula every house, and I make sure I win on every single property. All right, so the simple thing that I go ahead and do, 1 second. 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I gotta reset this thing. But the simple thing I do, and I want you guys to put this in the chat, and then as soon as my whiteboard cuts back, I'm gonna break it down to you guys, is I follow a simple formula, and it is called the 65% rule. Everybody put 65 in the chat. It's called the 65% rule. And I promise you, if you guys follow this specific strategy, every single time you're not going to buy a property that's going to be overpriced. You're not going to be able to buy a property where the deals are going to make sense. You're not going to buy a property where it's not going to work out. It's not going to make sense for you guys. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to make this thing work. When the devil's working, we work harder. All right. Everybody can put a 1 in the chat if you guys can see. My cam started working, but we're going to improvise. So look, this is called the 65% rule. So what this means is we take ARV, we times it by 65%, and that equals our all in. So first things first, we got to figure out what this means. ARV stands for after repair value. So what that means is after the house is fixed up, After everything is done, after it looks all beautiful, after the floor is in, the paint is in, the nice refrigerator, all that stuff is in, what is it worth then? Comment God if you guys got that. So all we do is how we find that is, you know how you guys go on Zillow, you go on Realtor.com, you look at all the beautiful houses up on the market, and you like, dang, I was looking at that house for the last 2 weeks. Dang, somebody else got it. When a house sells, that is called proof of concept that that house is worth that much because somebody was willing to pay for it. Put pay in the chat if you guys got that. Once it's sold, that's proof that that house is worth that much because somebody was willing to pay it. So if I have a house on 123 Main Street and I see that 127 Main Street sold for 400,000, then 9 times out of 10, my house can be worth 400,000 when my house is fixed up like theirs. If my house is at 123 Main Street and 130 Main Street sold for 400,000, possibly my house will be worth 400,000 when I fix it up as nice as that. Comment God if you guys got that. Yeah, it's the same thing as the 70%. I just like to do 65 because it gives me an extra 5% of cushion. All right, boom, now that you got it. So for this, when I follow this formula and when you do this, there's a lot of times lenders will go ahead and say, hey, we're willing to fund 100% or 90% of the whole deal because you got this property for such a great price. And just for you guys, it's like, nah, he's lying. I'm going to share this with you guys. This is a deal. This is the deal I did for my son. As you guys can see, this is September 16th. So all this stuff is recent. It says from the value standpoint, this loan looks like it makes sense and eligible for 100% funding. So what that means is I bought the house for 36,000. I'm putting 60 grand into it. But now the lender's like, look, the numbers make so much sense. We're willing to fund 100%. And the 8 grand that I had paid out of pocket is literally only to cover my transfer taxes, my homeowner's insurance, and my other little fees. Everybody put God in the chat. The 8 grand only cover my transfer taxes, my homeowner's insurance, and all the other little title fees I had to pay. Everything else was covered, 100% covered. All I did, like the same way you buy something from the dollar store, it's not $1, it's $1.08. You got to pay your taxes and a little bit of fees. Everything else is covered. So now let's go ahead and break down this deal specifically, right? I'm gonna make y'all do a little bit of work. This is not some lecture. You guys are actually gonna have to do some work. So stay ready, have your pen and paper ready, and most importantly, have your phone calculator up because I'm gonna ask y'all to do some math with me. So for this specific house, the ARV on this house is $160,000. So 160,000 times 65%. Somebody tell me what's that number? Real quick. Real quick. Ramel about to kick me off. I think I got 9 minutes now. 10 minutes left. I gotta get off by 7:45. Somebody tell me what's that number? Real quick, real quick, real quick, real quick, real quick. $104,000. $104,000. So what this means, what that number $104,000 stands for is called our all in. So what that means is I can buy for $4 grand and put 100 grand into it. I can buy for 100,000 and put $4,000 worth of work into it. I can buy for, $10,000 and put 90 plus that. I don't care how you break it down as long as you're able to fit your purchase and your construction within this number, it makes sense. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't make this a super algebra math problem. As long as it fits in this number, it works. Everybody put God in the chat. So for me, I bought this for 36K, and the exact number I'm putting into it is $64,000. So let me know in the chat, does 36,000 and 64 together, is that higher than 104? Is that higher than 104? If I'm able to buy this for 36 and I put $64,000 in it, is that more than $104,000? No, it is less. So that means great deal, AKA 100% funding. And that's exactly how it works. Everybody put next in the chat if you guys are ready for the next step. So now that we understand that this is how it's worked, this is exact math. So this is how I'm able to get the whole entire deal funded. And all I have to do is worry about paying the fees, which on those fees, I can go ahead and pay for them on a credit card. So now the next move is now that the house is all completed, the house is now worth for $160,000. I'm all in pretty much 100 grand on the house. pretty much I'm all in less than $104,000. What I have to do is now I go ahead, we go big bank takes little bank. So the little bank is with the people that gave me the 100 grand to buy and fix it up. But because I'm keeping this property for long-term wealth, everybody put wealth in the chat. Now I need to go to the big bank to give me a 30-year mortgage. Y'all already know about that. You pay for a mortgage 30 years. That's something simple everybody knows about. So now I need to go to the big bank to take over the little bank. So when I go to the big bank, what they're going to say is, hey, look, Mr. Boom, the house is worth 160 grand. We are willing to go ahead and give you 75% of what this house is worth. So we take the 160, we times it by 75%. Somebody really quickly. I got 7 minutes. What is 160,000 times 75%? Y'all like, this dude really got me. Whoo, y'all on it. $120,000. So that means Big Bank is going to go ahead and give me a loan of $120,000 to go ahead for that property, right? So now they're giving me the loan for 120,000, but my all-in number was 100 grand. Remember, I bought it for 36,000 and I'm putting $64,000 into it. So that means I have $20,000 left over. So what happens is big bank, or I like to use the credit unions. The credit union is going to wire me 120. Then out of the 120, they're going to pay back little bank or local bank. They're going to pay back local bank. And then the difference of the $20,000 goes to who? Somebody take a guess. The difference of the $20,000 goes to who? See, I knew y'all was smart. It goes to me. Now, full disclosure, because I already know you got some technical people in here, the big bank is going to charge me fees. They're going to charge me about $3,000 in fees, $4,000 in fees. So that's going to leave me with about $17,000 left over net. And the thing about this is because this is a loan, this is lended money from big bank, you don't have to pay any taxes on this. And what this whole process is called a cash out refi. You don't have to pay any taxes on this money because it is lended money. Talk to any tax person. Somebody Google this, question this. If you don't believe me, you do not pay taxes on any lended money. So now this $17,000, which is my son's property, now this $17,000 can go into his account that we have for him, or the $17,000 can go into his life insurance policy, which my brother Ramel is about to tell you guys about. Like, for example, for me, my son's property, I had to pay $15,000 a year for his universal whole life policy. So now one property covered his policy premium for the year. Comment aha in the chat if you guys got that with me. So now this one move is going to pay for his entire 12-month premium because this just paid for it. That's how you go ahead and double it down and make sure your money keeps making money. But then there's more. Everybody put more in the chat. So now we got this, but the catch is, right, when you get a loan on a house, you have to pay something. You have to pay something every single month. You have to pay something every single month. What is the M word? What is the M word you have to pay every single month when you have a loan on a house? Mortgage, exactly. You had to pay the mortgage every single month. So, and I'm gonna show you guys, I already did the math for you guys. For this specific house, the mortgage on this property is going to be about $803 a month. $803. All you have to do is go to Zillow.com/mortgage calculator, and then they'll be able to tell you, just fill in the numbers, how much everything's going to be, and it'll tell you how much your mortgage payment is going to be. So for this specific house, my mortgage payment is going to be $803. To make this simple math for y'all, we're just going to say $800 flat. So now what we're going to do, because I'm keeping this, I have to go and find a tenant. But the biggest thing that people have is like, I don't know how much to rent my property for. I don't know how to find a tenant. I don't know that whole process. So what we do is we go to this website right here. It's called rentsometer.com. Rentsometer.com is going to tell you exactly what the market rate for rents are for free. You don't have to pay for anything. So I'm going to use an address. I'm not going to give you guys the exact address. I'm going to use the address that is closest by, and it's a 3-bed, 1-bath house. We hit check rents, and it's telling us right now that the average house on this block is going for $1,600. I already know that because I own 3 houses on this block. One tenant is paying $1,450. One tenant is paying $1,500. One tenant is paying $1,450. So I know for a fact these numbers are right because I'm renting $1,400 to $1,500 for 2 bedrooms. So imagine what a 3 bedroom is going to look like. So now what we do is if the note is $800, but then I'm bringing in $1,600 a month from the rent. Somebody tell me what's that difference? What's that difference? Real quick, real quick. 800. So this is where we put this whole thing together, right? So imagine we already got 17,000 for him, plus another $800 this month, then another $800 next month, then another $800 next month, then another $800 next month for the next, my son is 4, for the next 14 years every single month. All this stuff is going back into his life insurance policy or going back into his bank account, wherever I plan to do to invest that money. Shit, I might take and start putting some of it in Bitcoin. But now this is all going to, so now it's like, why not build wealth? Why not set your kids up? Why not put yourself in position if all of this funds that we put together came off of 8 grand? Drop a fire emoji, you guys with me. I put this whole play together off of $8,000. So now at that point, when you think about it, it's like, I might as well go ahead and set him up. I might as well go ahead and put things together. I might as well go ahead and grow wealth or think long term because it doesn't take it doesn't take as much as you guys think. It's just you didn't know as much as you thought you know. Put an aha in the chat. That was an aha moment for you. It's not that this stuff takes more than you guys think. It's just you just didn't know as much as you think. But now I'm not mad at you for not knowing things, but now it's your responsibility to do something different because now you know the stuff. Every minute before this class, you didn't know. I understand. I'm not mad at you. But now that you know this stuff, it's your responsibility. Will Smith said something so powerful. He said, it's not your fault something happened to you, but it's your responsibility what you do after the fact. I'm not mad at you for going through a bad relationship, but now it's your responsibility to make sure you don't go through another one. I'm not mad at you that you didn't know how to maneuver money around, but now that you do know, it's your responsibility to make sure you do stuff right just moving forward. So now that you guys know how to protect the assets, put everything together, now you know how to go ahead and buy the assets. You have the specific formula so that it works. You know how to go ahead and put everything together. Now it's time to go ahead and leverage so you can move this money into policies like life insurance, which you can leverage again. Full disclosure, I can literally go ahead and say, okay, son, we're going to keep reinvesting this money. Let me go ahead and pull some money out of your life insurance policy to buy your next property. But that's not my lane. I'm going to let my brother go ahead and do this. I hit it right on 744. So, Ramel, if you're going to go ahead and bless the screen and let them know how they take us to the next level, because the stuff you know, that ain't my lane. I don't know that stuff. He's honestly the best financial literacy person on the planet. I will stand on that. He gonna show you how to really make 20 million in family, all this cool stuff. Man. I just know how to buy houses. He do all the cool stuff. Everybody put cool stuff in the chat.
Yeah. Appreciate you, bro. 1000%. Drop the fire emoji in the chat if Boom gave you some value, man. Like, drop the fire emoji in the chat if you feel like you got some value. I know I got some value. He broke down a real deal in real time of something that he's able to pass down to his son. And if we talking about legacy, then that's nothing better than buying investment properties that cash flow that can give your child wealth when you are no longer here, and also be able to pass down wealth from a life insurance standpoint. So appreciate you, bro. But can I get him a little bit more?
Look, listen. I got my I already got my nose ready. I already know what you about to do.
That's a fact. Like, if I could give y'all a little bit more, type more in the chat. That's all. If I could give y'all a little bit more, just type more in the chat. All right, perfect. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more. We're gonna take it to the next level. What I want to do really quick, I just want to show y'all something so y'all can understand this. Somebody type show me in the chat. Somebody type show me in the chat. I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. Because sometimes seeing is believing, right? And we need to see this stuff and understand what's going on. So if I could show y'all something, just put show me in the chat real quick. Put show me in the chat real quick. All right, perfect. There we go. This is what I want to show y'all really quick as we get started. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you're familiar with me. Put a 2 in the chat if you like, I don't know who this guy is from a can of paint. Like, I don't know who he is. I just want to make sure I understand who I'm talking to, and I give y'all this information. I don't want to overshare more than I need to, but I want to make sure you understand why I'm qualified to share what I'm sharing with you today. So one in the chat if you're familiar with me, two in the chat if you are not. They said overshare. All right, cool. So we got some ones, we got some twos, we got some ones, we got a lot of twos. So we got to fix that. So let me show you this really, really quick, right? So this is one of my life insurance policies, and this is just not any life insurance policy. This is what we call index universal life insurance policy, y'all. So look, what I want you to do is look right here where it says specified amount. That is what we call a death benefit. So in the event that I am no longer here, this $1.5 million is going to go to my family trust. So what Joy was talking about earlier about having this trust set up, this is what we do. So now when I'm no longer here, 1.5 million, this is one policy. We got multiple, right? But life insurance is not only for when you are no longer here, it's also for when you are living, right? So what I want you to do is look right here at this cash value. For those of you that can see that number, I want you to put the number in the chat so the people in the back can see exactly what we're talking about. Put this number in the chat right here. I want to make sure y'all with me. What's that number y'all see? Thank you. Shari got it. That's $319,156. This is the cash value in my policy that it has been able to compound, grow over the last 5-6 years that I had this policy. So this money I'm able to leverage and borrow against to go invest, to go buy businesses, go invest in more properties. Somebody type invest in the chat. So that is what we do. Just giving you an example, I want to set the stage. We go out there, right? Wealthy people don't spend money. Wealthy people move money. So what we do is put money in vehicles like insurance that is protected, that's tax-free, that can actually give you compounded growth. And then we're going to leverage it to go out there and buy more assets and more businesses. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure we got the full understanding of what our blueprint is. If that makes sense, just put yes in the chat. Cool. So this is how I've been able to build my empire, leveraging a vehicle of insurance and other vehicles, but in particular, we utilize insurance. And for those of you that do not know me, right, my name is Ramel Newworlds. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and my story is like anybody else. I'm no different than you. And I'm only sharing a little bit about me because I'm going to show you some things that's going to challenge everything you've been told about building wealth. I'm going to share with you some things that you're going to be scratching your head like, how is this guy able to do this? And I want you to know it wasn't always that way. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Somebody type finish in the chat because this was me right here on the left-hand side. I did everything that they told us to do, family. I went to school, graduated with my bachelor's in business management. I got a full-time job working for Pepsi in corporate, making $55,000 a year, but I didn't settle. See, everybody in my family and my friends, they said, you made it because you're making $55,000. I said, no, I'm worth $55 million. No, I'm worth $55 billion. Nobody can put a dollar amount on my value. So let me know in the chat, how much are you worth? Because I understood my value, I actually went out there and I doubled down. I invested on myself and I paid for mentorship. I learned strategies of what I'm going to share with you shortly. And I've been able to build a $10 million self-storage business. I'm a serial entrepreneur, I own multiple businesses. And I've been able to do this creatively, leveraging this tool of insurance to be able to maximize and leverage my money, y'all. So I want to show you how to do the exact same thing. And I'm not somebody that just popped up yesterday, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm not a pandemicpreneur. I've been buying properties over the last 12 years. And again, I'm only showing you this receipts because I want you to be inspired. Somebody type inspire in the chat. I want you to see yourself in me. I want you to see yourself in Boom. I want you to see yourself in Joy. I want you to know that we could do it, then you could do it. We're giving you the blueprint. You just got to execute. Somebody type execute in the chat. I've been able to build over 500,000 followers across my social media platforms, taking private travel, retired my wife, fired my boss. I purchased my dream car, $300,000 Lamborghini, and that's cute. That's cute. But I want y'all to look past the Lamborghini. I want you to see the storage facility behind me because I purchased that storage facility with no money out of my pocket, and the money from that storage facility pays for my Lamborghini. And the cool thing is, I was able to buy my Lamborghini outright cash by leveraging my life insurance. Are y'all with me? These are the things that I've been able to do. I'm only showing you this because, again, I want you to see what's possible when I break down the blueprint for you. I've been able to master a system, and system stands for saving yourself significant time, energy, and money. That's all I want to do. Can I give y'all the system? I don't care if you are a corporate person that worked 20, 30 years. I don't care if you've been an entrepreneur for 15, 20, 30 years. I don't care if you dropped out of high school. I don't care if you just came home from jail. This system that we're going to share with you, it works unless you work it. Somebody type work in the chat. Let's get to work. With that being said, let's get to work, y'all. Let's get to work. Let me share my screen. I want to break this down, right? So for those of you that may not be familiar, there's different insurance policies, right? And you got corporate policies, VUL policies, but I'm going to share with you just the three that I utilize in particular. And this is what we call our wealthy framework, all right? So you first have term insurance, and term is what it says. Term is for a specific period of time. It typically goes from 10 years to 30 years, right? Now, with this term policy, it has no cash value. So what I shared with you a little earlier, that's not a term policy. That's what we call IUL. But I want y'all to think about this. At the very minimum, would you invest $100 a month to be able to get $1 million policy, so when that day come that you go, you can pass down your child $1 million? Let me know in the chat. Are you okay with carving out $100 a month for $1 million policy? Because we know we're going to get out of here. You might as well pass down your family some money. Nafisa says she do it now. That's what I'm talking about. And here go the game if y'all picking it up. Boone just showed you how to go buy a property with no money out of your pocket. Guess what? You do that, and then the cash flow from that property will cover this insurance policy. So essentially, you're getting a free $1 million. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. And not just that, right? When you have term policies, we also get them to match the debt that we take on to buy these properties. So let's say you buy this 3-family property that Boone showed you how to buy it. And let's say that property got a mortgage of $200,000. Well, when you die, you're going to have this $1 million death benefit, right? So what's going to happen is that $1 million is going to kick in, and $200,000 is going to pay off the property free and clear, and the other $800,000 is going to go to your family bank or your family trust. But the blueprint is to pass down your children free and clear assets. How would you feel if your dad, your mom, your granddad left you free and clear assets? I know Boone's son is going to feel amazing. I know my son's going to feel amazing. I know Joy's son will feel amazing, because they're going to be in position to get free and clear assets, leveraging insurance. Does this make sense? Let's keep rolling. Not only do we have term, we have whole life and IUL. Now, the difference between whole life and IUL versus term is you get what is called cash value, which is what I shared with you a little earlier, where you're going to actually have your money grow compounded interest. Now, it's going to cost you a little bit more. It'll be about $500 for $1 million policy. But somebody type me in the chat if you can buy an investment property that cash flows you $2,000 a month, and then you carve out $500 to get another $1 million policy. And in particular, this policy grows cash value. Would you do that? Just type me in the chat if you would do that. Cool. We got the right people in the room today, Joy. We got the right people in the room today. Boom. This is permanent insurance, so it lasts for the entire duration of your life. It does not have a term. And what I love the most about it, you can borrow against it. So again, let's say you have $100,000 in cash value that has been able to grow as you invest into this policy. You can go get a line of credit against this policy for $100,000, and essentially you made your money work for you twice. So now I could take this 100,000, it's still growing compounded interest because I'm not touching it, I'm just leveraging it, and I'll go buy another property like Boone just talked about. And now you're taking one property to the second property to the third property. Does this make sense? And you never lose money, because with the IUL and the whole life, it has a floor. So you're never gonna lose money. You're guaranteed minimum of 3 to 5% growth. Let me know what other vehicle that you can guarantee that you're going to get your money. There's a floor. Now, some of you have money in a 401k. If you got your money in a 401k, type me in the chat. If you got your money in a 401k, type me in the chat. Let's be real here. It's time to have a real conversation. Shari do. Naisha do. Who else? I know I did at one point. Philly do. Who else? Tashana do. So let me tell you this. I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with you. Your 401k is the worst place you can have your money. It is a financial trap. Please do not have your money in a 401k. And I'm gonna tell you why. Your 401k gives you limited access, which means you can't even touch this money until you're 59 and a half. Damn near 60 years old. And when you do pull the money out, it's taxed on the growth. So if you have invested over 20 years, and let's say you got $100,000 at 59 and a half, you're going to have to pay 30 to 40% taxes on that money. So you essentially lose 30 to 40,000 of that money. You walk away with 60. So you're pretty much working for free for about 10, 15 years of your life. What part of the game is that? Yeah, Natasha said, right, exactly. What part of the game is that? Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think that instead of you putting your money in a 401k, if you put your money in a whole life policy, into a cash value policy, or into an investment property, do you think you can make more than 60,000 over 20 years? Just let me know. Do you think that you can make more than 60,000 over 20? Yeah, she said, hell yeah, absolutely. So why would I put my money in a vehicle where the company has the control, Wall Street has the control, they taking all of these fees, plus I could lose my money? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So what we do, a part of our wealthy framework, right? We put our money in these type of vehicles, and then we take it to go invest in already profitable businesses. So you could actually go to websites like bizbuysell.com. Y'all could go Google this on your own. BizBuySell is a business brokerage site where there's owners looking to sell their businesses to people like you, and their businesses are already making money. And I'm gonna show you how it works, right? See, you have owners who are called baby boomers. And these baby boomers are individuals who've been born between 1940 and 1960. And they are getting up at their age, and they are ready to retire. You may have some owners who are going through a divorce and they need to sell their business. You may have some owners that have health issues and they want to sell their laundromat. They want to sell their self-storage business. They want to sell their mailbox store, their dry cleaning business that's already making money. And some of you probably thinking, okay, how does this work? Why would somebody sell me a business that's making money? I'm going to show you the blueprint, y'all. Y'all with me? If y'all with me, just drop a fire in the chat if y'all with me. If y'all with me, just drop a fire in the chat. See, there's two ways that you can build wealth. You can actually earn your way to wealth, or you can own your way to wealth. I'm going to show you which one is the faster route. See, the way you earn your way to wealth is by starting a new business. And that's what most people do. Not knowing the statistics of 90% of businesses fail within the first 10 years. This is what they're not going to tell you, but I'm here to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. The reason why 90% of businesses fail within the first 10 years is because they don't have capital. Somebody type me in the chat if you started a business over the last 10 years and you've been struggling because you don't have access to capital, because you got your money in the wrong vehicles. And because you don't have capital, guess what? You don't have a team that can support you because you can't afford to pay them. And then you have horrible fulfillment, and now your customer's upset, and because you don't have proper systems, all because you don't really have the money and the knowledge. And this is why 90% of business fail. Somebody type me in the chat if you've been a victim of this. Let's just be real. I know I have. I had to learn the hard way. I started out in business, didn't know what I was doing, thought I had it figured out, gone. And I'm not saying this is not possible. I'm just saying that only 10% of the people out there are able to do this, because it takes a certain amount of time for you to go through the process to learn, to run out of money, to get back in the game, to bump your head. Y'all with me? But I got a faster route. Somebody type fast in the chat. So instead, what I want to share with you is, how about you go and buy an existing business, like I said earlier, but not just any existing business. We want to buy a business that is 10 years old or more, because a business that's 10 years old or more has a 90+% success rate. So you damn near guaranteed to win. We want to buy a business that's bringing in $10,000 a month already. We want to buy a business that already has systems in place, that already have cash flow, that already have marketing in place, right? They already have customers in place. Let me know in the chat, which one would you do? Do you want to go out there and start something from scratch, put a 1 in the chat, or if you want to buy something that's already moving, put a 2 in the chat? Just let me know. This is what we do. So as I bring it full circle, right, I want to make it very clear. This is what we do, the entire Wealthy Framework. What we're going to do is set up our business properly. Like Joy talked about, we're going to make sure we have our estate planning because we need to be protected. Once we do that, we're going to get with Boone and he's going to show you how to invest at a very entry level that anybody could do creatively as long as you have the discipline. Once you invest and you make your money with an asset, you're now going to go and get insurance. But you're not going to get just any insurance. You want to get a term insurance policy. You want to get a whole life policy. You want to get an RUL. You're going to have that money grow and you can borrow against your policies to go buy a business that's bringing in even more money. Over a 2-year span, if you do this, you can literally put your family 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead. Type me in the chat if you cool with going a 2-year process to put your family 10, 20 years ahead. This is not a get rich quick. This is a get rich for sure. Get rich for sure. Does this make sense? Man, time is flying, y'all. Time is flying. If you feel like this is some valuable information and you want more, I want you to type more in the chat. If you feel like this is valuable and you want more, I want you to type more in the chat. How would it feel? See, we got this type of value over the last 60 minutes. How would it feel if you was able to spend a little bit more time with myself, Joy, and Boone? We're able to really go in full detail. Just let me know, how would it feel if you could actually sit down and just do a Q&A and ask Joy all the questions you need to know about properly structuring your business, about how to actually do your estate planning the right way, get understanding of your personal situation. How would it feel? Let me know in the chat if you could actually get more detail with Boone and he could break down the entire process. I can show you the different policies and what fits for your circumstances. How would it feel? See, we will be doing you a disservice. See, you said it will be amazing. It will be exciting. It will be great. We will be doing you a disservice to give you this massive value for 60 minutes and not give you an opportunity to get more. So with that being said, do I have your permission to give you an opportunity to share an opportunity for you to work directly with me, Joy, and Boone a little bit more so we can really give you our Wealthy Framework in further detail? Just let me know in the chat. Do I have your permission? If I don't have your permission, we ain't gonna do it. Like I got to see. Do I have your permission? Boone said, yeah. All right, so I want to bring up Boone. I want to bring up Joy. I want to bring y'all back with me because we are on this mission together. And what I want to do, and look, get ready, y'all, because this is gonna be a life-changing opportunity because this has never been done. Myself, Joy, and Boone, we have made a commitment to help 1,000 families add an additional $300,000 in asset value by December 31st of this year, not next year. December 31st, 2025, that is our goal, 1,000 families. And if you are gonna be a part of that 1,000, type me in the chat. If you're gonna be a part of that 1,000, type me in the chat. Let me know. I just wanna make sure I got the right people in the room. That's all I wanna do. There we go. So I got the right people in the room. So with that being said, right, I wanna share with you an opportunity for you to join our accelerated mentorship week. With myself, Boone, and Joy, we're gonna go a full week and we're gonna give you our Wealthy Framework in more detail. Like I said, you're gonna have a full Q&A session every single day. Boone is gonna have a full day of his own just to go in deep detail. Joy gonna have a whole day of her own to go in deep detail. I'm gonna have a whole day on my own just to go in detail so that we can truly give you the framework that you need so that you can build wealth for your family. This is not just about you. Like what we sharing is not a quick 10,000, not a quick 20,000. We want to show you how to get a quick 20 million. How would that feel? Let me know. Like, yo, Boone, Joy, if I told y'all, like, let's go get a quick 20 million, how that feel? That feel a little different.
I like that. Sign me up.
That's a little different. It's the mindset that we need to have when we talk about really building wealth for our family. We need to think like that. And that is what we want to share with you for our accelerated mentorship week, the Wealthy Experience. And where we're going to be breaking this down, not just us, we're going to be bringing in our 7-figure special guests and business partners to really give you information on grant, to give you the game on insurance, to give you the game on business funding, the complete framework to be able to build wealth for you and your family. So if you feel like this is something that you want to be a part of and you want us to drop this link, I want you to type drop the link in the chat. I want you to type drop the link in the chat. If you feel like this is something that you want to be a part of, let me know. Jackie said, yeah, drop the link. She said, drop the link. Bridget said, drop the link. They said, oh, man. So we about to drop this link. So get your card. If somebody got to Zelle you, if you got to move from your saving to your checking, do what you need to do. But I'm going to send the elevator back down, right? And you'll never get this anywhere. To join us for this accelerated mentorship week is an investment of only $397, y'all. Only $397. And guess what? For those of you right now, as we drop this link over the next 10 minutes, before we start to close this thing up, we're going to give you a code. The code is Legacy, and you're going to get $100 off. So tonight, it'll be $297. If y'all ready, just type ready. I don't got nothing else to say. I just want to make sure they ready, boo. Joy, I want to make sure they ready.
I want to 100% make sure they're ready. You know what? Can we make this even better? Can we make this even spice this up a little more? Can we make this even more interesting?
Oh, what you got? What you got, bro?
So what we're going to go ahead and do, and we did this before, so I got an honor for you guys because half this room said they from Philly, so we got an honor for you guys. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, how many people ready to go and buy a house? Put real estate in the chat. How many people ready to go out and buy a house? What I specifically want to do for you guys, I want to give you guys my real estate fundamentals course. It's $1,000 a course. This will give you a full module. I'm talking about me recorded, breaking down everything, how to find the properties, how to buy them, how to get the financing, how to work with the contractors, how to find the tenants, how to rent to the tenants, how to flip. Full step-by-step module. You want to get access to all that. That's one. Two, I'm going to give you guys access to my 100K credit ebook. This is a full-blown funding breakdown of banks that I personally utilize. Not something I found on Google. Banks that I personally utilize, where they pull from, what to put on the application, how to actually get approved. The third thing that I want to go ahead and do is, and I actually pulled a couple strings. I got them to go and do this. So a lot of you guys put 1018 in the chat. And if you guys are going to be in Philly for our free networking event, put me in the chat. The whole event is free, but what we decided to do, we kind of pull some strings, put some things together, and we had the venue open up a whole backstage space. We're doing a VIP session. So every single person that has their ticket is going to be able to meet and greet and build with us backstage at the event. We're going to have food. We're going to build with you guys. It's going to be just us and you, and we're going to be able to build backstage after the event, during the event. You guys are going to have badges to be able to walk back and forth backstage. So now you already coming is free, but now you're going to be able to VIP and build with us behind the scenes, backstage, your food, everything included. You want to have your badge. So every single person that gets their spot, you're not only going to get $100 off, you're going to get the course, you're going to get the ebooks, and you're going to go ahead and be able to get access to the event backstage.
Damn. So they getting $1,000 real estate course and VIP.
It's just like, what are we talking about?
Look,
What are we talking about?
I think they're
ready in the chat. Just put ready. Just put ready. Like, I heard enough. Just put ready.
Yeah, they ready. They ready for sure. So let's get this link. We're going to drop it in 5 seconds. So we're going to do a countdown and we're going to drop this link. So y'all ready? Y'all ready for this countdown? All right, let's get it. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the link, drop the link, drop the link, drop the link. The link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. Make sure you get to checkout. When you get to checkout, you're going to hit the code word Legacy so you can get $100 off. So make sure you do that. Don't move too fast and you miss out on that $100 code, right? And comment I'm in once you are in and you lock in your spot. They said they don't see it. Like, it's in the chat. Let me show. It's in the chat. Y'all, the team is dropping it. There you go. There you go. So I want to show y'all this too really, really quick, right? So as y'all locking in y'all spots, I'm going to show you how even sweeter we're going to make this thing for you, right? When you go in here, you're going to click this link. You're going to go to secure your seat. I'm going to make it very clear. Once you go in here, you secure your seat. You're going to see this coupon code. You're going to type Legacy. Once you type legacy, you're gonna apply that code. Boom. Once you do that, now that's $100 off. Oh no, I just removed it. There we go. All right, $100 off. Now, even better, you're gonna go ahead, if it's possible, and you need to get some financing, you can do Klarna and break it up into payments of $75. I'm talking about like literally you spend it on DoorDash and Uber Eats, right? We talking about go do Afterpay. You could break it up into 4 payments via Afterpay. So we don't like reason why I'm sharing this. And really, if I'm you, I'm just paying. I'm just swiping the card. I'm making an investment. I'm not even questioning it because when you see value in what we've done just in these last damn near 90 minutes, like you got to understand. Look, we gave you more than $1,000 worth of value tonight. So just imagine what you're gonna get when you join us in the free event and you join us on the accelerated mentorship week. We don't want to think about price. What's up, Joe?
Romeo, give them the date of the class and the event.
So, oh yeah, you're right. So let's do this. Let's do this.
He gets excited about helping y'all, man. He just like, listen, just get it. Just get in.
Just get it. Just get it.
Let's do this. Let me share with y'all the event. All right, cool. Right here, the event is October 18th in Philadelphia. So once you lock in your spot, you'll get all the details. We'll share with you the actual address, the time of the event. It starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's October 18th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That is where the live podcast networking event is going to be. If y'all got that, put got it in the chat. If y'all got that, put got it in the chat. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. Number two, where we at? All right, perfect. Now, in regards to the 5 days, the dates are at the top of the page, right? When you go to the top of the page, you'll see it. November 9th to November 14th for the full week. That's why it's an accelerated mentorship week. And it's not just 5 days, it's really 7 days. So it's a full week. And I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the week that you might want to just get your PTO. Like this is the week you might want to.
This is the time to use it. This is the time to use it.
Yeah, get that PTO. Yeah, I mean, this is the time. Take your vacation, call in sick. You feel me? This is whatever you need to do because I promise you, what we're gonna bring during this week has the potential to really. You might just put your 2 weeks in after that, right? This has the potential to really help you change everything about your 2026 and beyond. So, but I'll pass it back to you, Joy Boone. If y'all got anything y'all want to share, I just want to show them that they can finance it, they can break it up in payments, whatever they need to do. I just want them to get in the door.
So one thing I want to ask you guys, how many people are actually doing this for bigger than them? They're doing this for their kid, their grandkids, someone that they love. Comment me in the chat. I just want to ask y'all a quick question. How many people are honestly like, this is bigger than me? I'm doing this for someone else. Yes, I'm getting a benefit as well, but specifically, I want to make sure that they set up. Me, family first, me. That's part me. And if it's you doing this for you too, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're doing this for you, that's perfectly fine. But it's just someone else attached to this. Me, my only reason. Me. Yes, this is going to be on Zoom. So yes, it's online. It is online. It's virtual. But the one thing I want to go ahead and ask, I want to say this. A lot of people put family, a lot of people put me in the chat. I want you guys to understand something, right? You can't teach what you don't know, and you can't lead where you didn't go. I'm going to say this again. You can't teach what you don't know, and you can't lead where you didn't go. So for a lot of you guys to say, I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for my kids, I'm doing this for that, I'm doing this for them. Again, you're not going to be able to teach them something that you don't know. That's called the blind leading the blind. So at some point, you're going to have to, okay, let me actually learn some stuff. Let me actually take this path myself. Let me actually experience some things so I can actually pass down wisdom and experiences, not some things, this may work. We don't do that. We pass on wisdom. I believe in wisdom, not theory. Hey, look, let me actually experience this. Let me actually learn this stuff. Let me actually go through this stuff. Let me actually buy a house so I can pass it down. Not say, look, listen, I hope you guys just go ahead and do this. Hey, son, I hope you just go and figure this out. Hey, daughter, I just hope you go and figure this out. Let me go ahead and try to do this myself. Let me accomplish this myself so I can actually lead by example. One of the problems that a lot of parents go through is like they're trying to teach their kids or show their kids something that they didn't do. So now the kids are like, you telling me to do something you didn't even do. You try, whoa. We need to go ahead and lead by example. You know what, son? Let me show you what this looks like because I'm actually doing this. And if you already have kids or your kids are already older, that's perfectly fine. They actually can see you going through the process. They see the work you're putting in. They see the things you're going through. So they can actually respect them more. But we have to go ahead and lead by example. But again, you can't teach what you don't know, and you can't lead somewhere where you have never went. So we have to go ahead and make that decision now. Whereas, okay, you know what? Let me make this decision right now. Let me actually do something that my future self is going to thank me for. Let me do something that my kid or my future kid is going to thank me for, and actually look back and be like, because I posted this on Instagram the other day, whether you realize it or not, that question is going to come up when your kid or your grandkids or whomever is going to say, why don't we have wealth like them? Why don't we go ahead and have assets like them? Why aren't we set up like that? They're going to ask that. It's going to happen. So you want to be prepared. Well, we actually do. I actually got this set up for you. I just didn't show it to you guys because I'm waiting till you turn 18. We have these things, or this is going on. You want to make sure you're prepared because those questions want to come about. And I know people like Joy, I know people like myself, I know people like Ramel. We're going to make sure we have those answers for them. But we also don't want to be the only people with those answers. We want to make sure that we put you guys in a position to have those answers as well. Yes, it will be Zoom. Will be Zoom. Will be Zoom. So look, I want to, if you guys just got your spot, comment I'm in, and I want to take 30 seconds to explain this because my brother just wants to make sure that you guys just get the information, jump now, figure out how to fly on the way down. I'm gonna take time to build a parachute for you guys real quick. The class is gonna be November 9th through the 14th. Every single day is on Zoom. So if you miss a day, you guys can get the replay. Not can get the replay, you will get the replay. Comment got it. You guys got that. The October 18th event is an event we have and it's free, but every single person that has their ticket, you'll be able to get backstage passes, VIP, food, a whole bunch of other benefits. Comment got it. You guys got that part. So November 9th through the 14th, the actual wealthy experience is all on Zoom. The October 18th is a free event that we're having, but every person that has their ticket is going to be able to build with us, do a meet and greet with us, and build with us backstage. Everybody got that? Comment got it? You guys got that? And that's going to be in Philly. Every single class is going to have a class session and is going to have a Q&A session. So this is not going to be on this platform. You'll be able to unmute yourself. We'll be able to see you guys. So if you say, hey, Mo, I don't really understand the universal life insurance thing. Can you repeat yourself? You'll be able to ask that question. Comment great in the chat. That's a great. Somebody said, where at in Philly? Philly is like 30 minutes big. It's Philly. It's going to be in South Philly to answer the question. But in Philly, you get anywhere in 30 minutes. It's Philly. But it's going to be in South Philly. The next thing is you guys are also going to have a financial Friday where every single Friday over these next couple weeks leading up to November, you're going to be able to meet with a financial analyst to go ahead and give you some wealth strategies today. You don't have to wait till November 9th. You can go ahead. Honestly, you guys can really build a whole bunch of wealth before November even hits. Somebody put great in the chat. Like you can literally build a whole bunch of wealth before November even hits, just off of this financial Friday. So there's a lot of things that we're structuring, we setting up for you guys so you can win even before November hits. But everybody put God in the chat. You guys got that. And Joe, I know you was about to say something, but I wanted because he went through it. I want to make sure I broke it down for him.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's Ramel. So no matter where you are financially, the knowledge is what we need to have. So knowing what options you have, knowing what to do when you do acquire money, knowing what to do now that you have whatever it is that you have, that's priceless. And a lot of times we miss out on things or we lose things not because we didn't have anything to lose. We lose it because we didn't know how to protect. Like no one told us you got to have a trust, not a will. No one told us you should have living benefits with your life insurance policy. No one told us that for less than a Starbucks coffee a day, you could have $1 million insurance policy. So if you are the breadwinner, if you are the husband, if you are a single mom, a single dad, and something were happen to you, grandma can, I'm sure she can take care of the kids, but can she pay for everything for the kids, right? So with less than a Starbucks cup of coffee a day, having $1 million policy to make sure that your house is paid off, they can stay in the house, they can stay at their school, they can still live the same type of life is priceless because you don't want to put your family in the hole once you die.
Mm.
And a lot of times we feel like, I'm gonna get to that, I'm gonna get to that, I'm gonna get to that, I'm gonna get to that. And we tend to put it on the back burner, not realizing if you don't handle it now, something can happen. And when you're gone, you aren't going to feel the repercussions. Your kids, your grandma, your mom, your loved ones is who is going to feel the repercussions. And you don't want to work all this time and acquire all of these things, and then you end up losing them in probate because you had a will, but it took a year to probate the will, and in that year we lost all of our assets. Probate is a probate is sad, okay? Because baby, family, Nook and them come out the woodworks, we cussing and fussing. We are just burning up attorney fees, and 9 out of 10 times the courts and the attorneys is who gets paid in probate court, not your loved one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
no matter where you are, you want to first get the information. Now that you've equipped yourself with the information, now you know, okay, well, what road do I want to go? How do I want to acquire assets? How do I want to protect my legacy? What do I want to do? And the thing is, no one's out here giving this information. We figure this information out called the School of Hard Knock Life, right?
Right.
I happen to just get an insurance policy. And I'm the kind of person, give me everything, right? So everything he said, do you want this? Do you want that? Yes, 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 and yes. And in 2019, I had a cancer scare. They thought I had cervical cancer. And the first thing that came to my mind was, what's going to happen to my son?
Mm.
Because I am the engine of all of my businesses. Yes, my husband at the time, he could keep it going. He can't grow it without me, right? So the cost of living, like how is my son gonna be able to stay in his neighborhood, with his school, with his friends, and have the same life if I'm not there? And so luckily, when I call my insurance agent, like, well, what do I have now? Because I know I can't get nothing new. And he's like, well, you have this, you have, okay. So I was set because I'm the kind of person that says, give me everything, right? Give me, I don't want nothing I don't want to pass on nothing. And so just not having to worry about, am I about to die, and about my financial future for my kids was priceless. So you don't want to be on the other side of the 8 ball. You don't want to I wish I known, I shoulda, coulda. You want to understand that it's not that expensive. For less than a cup of coffee, you can ensure that the house can get paid off. So if something were to happen to you and you're the breadwinner, your wife can still be okay. If you're a single parent, your kids and your mom can take care of the kids, and they're gonna have the same caliber of life. You don't want to work all this time and acquire all these things just to lose them because you had them in the wrong vehicle, thinking you were doing the right thing because you heard something on YouTube and you heard something on, Instagram, but not really understanding what it is that you needed for your situation. So that's why we're doing this event. That's why we are doing this 5 days of mentorship via Zoom. It's going to be recorded. Get the information before the end of the year. So now you know exactly what you need to do. What plays are you going to put in place? Because acquiring wealth, the way that Boone's going to break it down, and the way that Ramel's going to break it down, it's not going to require as much money as we think it does. A lot of times we count ourselves out the opportunity because we assume that we aren't qualified for it. But we are, because by just having the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. That was good. That was good. That was really good. Like she said, it does not. The thing that frustrates me with people is people assume things. Like we can't assume things. We can't assume that wealth is like is this. No, we have to know it does not cost as much as you. I just told you guys took 8 grand to turn to 160. Ramel took 2,000 to turn to 10 million. Like, and these are actual assets. Really quickly, I don't know if how many people actually done this, but when you actually doing a refinance or applying for something huge, they ask you to fill out something called a PFS, a personal financial statement. And the thing about personal financial statement, it is going to make you smile or is it going to make you think a little different?
Facts.
So when you fill out that personal financial statement, it's going to say, okay, first out the gate, they're going to ask you your name, information, then they're going to say, hey, bank account, boom. Put the checking account, how much money is in that checking account. Then they're going to ask you things like, hey, do you have any stocks? Do you have any life insurance? Do you have any this? Do you have any assets? Do you have any properties? All of these things are listed as assets. Real estate, stocks, now crypto is a part of it. You know, life insurance, all these things going to be listed. Then they're going to go into your liabilities, the next line. Do you have any car notes? Do you have any debt? Do you have any back tax? All these things they're going to ask. And at the bottom line, after all that stuff is added up and deducted, you're going to look at that bottom number, and that is going to say your net worth.
Mm.
And that's going to be that moment that you're going to really sit back and look at yourself like, damn, I'm doing an amazing job, or I need to turn this shit up. Excuse my
Mm.
language, but that is what it is. When you look at that thing and that says, you know, a couple 100,000 or a couple million, you're gonna be like this. We doing the right thing. But when you see that thing and it doesn't have a number that you want on there, that's when you have to go ahead and realize I have to go ahead and turn that up. And I really believe that every single person on here should take their time to fill out a PFS, even if you're not applying for anything, just so you know where you really stand. In order to be prolific, you have to be specific. You have to specifically know what you have in front of you. So take your time to actually look, okay, do I have any assets? Do I have any life insurance? Do I have any properties? Do I have any stocks? Do I have any of these things? Because this is what's really going to separate you from here and then, from this person and this person, for what you at right now and where you actually want to go. So things like life insurance, $100 a day, $100 a month can get you $1 million in coverage. 8,000 can go and get you to a property. These are things that don't require a whole bunch, which you guys are already. The thing about it is, you guys are already spending this on. Comment me in the chat, and let's be honest, let's be transparent. How many people in here can honestly say they spent $10,000 this year in different pieces, all in one lump sum, on things that they really didn't need to? If you spend more than $10,000 this year, maybe not all at one time, but 100 here, 1,000 here, 500 here, on things that you know you really didn't need, comment me in the chat. That's a lot of me's. We just showed you between getting the LLC, between getting a property, between getting a life insurance, and you still got some change left over. We have to start moving different so we can start living different. So what I need you guys to do now is you need to go ahead and get the information. We are giving you the information. We're giving you the steps. We give you the strategy. We even give you the financial advisor as well for only $297 plus the access to come to the event. At this point, it's like, yo, it's me that I just don't want to go ahead and do it. Comment, agree in the chat. You guys agree, man. At some point, it's just like me. I'm the problem. I just don't want to go ahead and do it. And if that's the case, I can't do anything about it. But what we want to do is make sure we line everything out where you have every single resource. Now, I promise you, this is the last class you're going to ever need to take when it comes to financial literacy and growing. You have the financial advisor, you have the real estate, you have the asset protection, you have the life insurance, you have this person, you have that person, you have the full 7 days. You can ask questions. This is, I promise you, this is the last class you want to ever take when it comes to financial literacy. So look, team, if you could drop the link one more time. We're going to go ahead and close this up at 8:35. We're going to close this up at 8:35 sharp. And if you guys got your spot already, comment I'm in. The date is November 9th. Everybody hear this. This is November 9th through the 14th.
Let me add something, Boom. Let me add something, Boom. So one, I saw a lot of people asking in the chat like about the event, in like the week, right? So if you cannot make the Philly event, that doesn't mean you can't show up to the accelerated week, right? To our wealthy experience. I want to make that clear. So don't like if you can't make it to Philly, don't count yourself out. That's something that you definitely would want to strive to be there. But if you can't, mandatory, very minimum, you want to make sure you're there at that full week. Is that clear? I want to make sure that's good because we got that confused. But I was just picking up what I was putting down, And it's always great to just listen, right? Because God gave us what, two ears and one mouth for a reason, because we need to listen twice as much as we talk. So I'm just listening, right? And I'm like, wow, when you listen to people that really have real experience in life, you could pick up a lot of gems. So Joy, just something simple that I picked up, and I want everybody to pick it up if it didn't go over if it went over your head. You talked about how you the type of person where it's like whenever you go for a service, give me everything. Like I
Mhm.
don't even, you don't even gotta show me the menu. What's your best? What's the best? Everybody type best in the chat. I need
Uh-huh.
premium. It's a different mindset. Like that's how we
Uh-huh.
are. If you show me the low package, move out the way. I want the best. That's just the
Uh-huh.
mindset that I have. But because she has that mindset, when life did happen, because it's gonna happen to everybody,
Mhm.
and thank God it was just a scare, but she was prepared. That's
Mhm.
the biggest piece. See, we need to be prepared for when things happen, because a lot of times we wait for our back to be against the wall to start making these moves. Right? We wait to hit rock bottom to start praying to God, like God, please. You had the message right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
The message is right here in front of you to get the information, to learn how to set your family up, to make sure you're protected. So when the shit goes down, you can still stand 10 toes down and be like, I know I did what I was supposed to do. That's the mindset that we need to have, right? And boom, you breaking down the PFS, the personal finance statement, right? Like you could tell you really live this, because that's somebody can't just get on here and walk through a full financial statement, a personal financial statement. You got to really be doing real business to understand how that go. But one of the things that I picked up on, right? You talked about net worth. A lot of times we focus more on cash and like getting to the money, but cash is really not going to get you into those upward high level doors. It's really
Mm-hmm.
about what you look like on paper. And it
Mm-hmm.
feels different when you walk into the bank and like I'm able to complete a personal finance statement and be like, yup, I got 10 million in insurance, I got 10 million in real estate. Listen, I deserve to be here just like you.
Mm-hmm.
I walk into these rooms where I'm just like you or better. It don't matter what the case is, right? So I'm just highlighting these things because it really kind of just spoke to me as I'm listening in. And I want everybody to pick this up and don't let it go over your heads. You need to get in the environment with people like this that's going to plant the seeds, because your environment will change you way before you change it. I want to make it clear. If you still around people that's gossiping and that don't have no goals, and it's people that's borrowing from you, it's people that's trying to take from you, it's just a matter of a time before you're depleted. It's just a matter of a time. You need to be around people that's going to pour into you. So when we talk about this event in Philly, which is completely free, what are we talking about? Catch a flight. Make it a priority because your life depends on it. This is
Mm-hmm.
not just another class. I want to make it clear. This is not just another mentorship. Boone said it. This is the last mentorship that you'll ever need, because why? We're giving you the full blueprint from A to Z. And I want to give them something a little further, right? I know we gave y'all a lot, but what I want to do, because some of y'all probably thinking I got time, right? We be like, oh, it's November 9th. I'll wait to go get a ticket. No, we don't want to wait. We want to move now because we got to make sure we move with speed. So what I want to do for everybody that do lock in, and we about to close this up in the next minute, I want to give you 30 days access to my community, my school community, where I have a bunch of different trainings on credit, on business funding, on digital products, everything you could think of to be able to get yourself going. We just want to get the car going. We want to get on the road. We want to make sure we get that momentum. All right, that's what we want to do. So I want to give that as another bonus in addition to everything that we already gave you, because we want to make sure that after you leave this workshop, you're going to look in the mirror and be like, God damn it, you feel bad. You know that you really don't want it because you walked away from something that was a no-brainer. There's nothing else to talk about. $297. Let me call who I need to call. Let me let me borrow what I need to borrow. Let me try. If I got 10 cards on the table, I'm gonna swipe all 10. One of them gonna hit. Because when we know we want something bad enough, we figure out how to make it happen. Is that right? Joy Boom. When we want something, we know how to figure it out.
I'm gonna
Nobody can
figure it
convince
out.
us otherwise.
I'm gonna figure it out her.
I'm gonna figure it out. You
I'm
know
gonna
what I'm saying?
figure it out her.
So I'm gonna leave it right there. It's 8:35, and we gotta close this thing up and really get going. Congratulations, Ariel. One more time before we do close, type I'm in the chat so we can congratulate you. No matter if you joined 10 minutes ago or 2 minutes ago, everybody type I'm in so we can shout you out.
And I want to add in, if you're someone that needs two, because it's 8:35, we about to hit the red button and close this out. If you're someone that needs 2 more minutes, comment 2 minutes. And while we're doing this, I want to just state a couple other things. Someone asked, hey, I will be out of the country during that week. All the replays will be sent via email and text message at the end of the week. We can't give you replays now because it didn't happen yet. So once the class is done, we're going to give you all the replays via email and text message. If you guys did not receive any bonuses, double check your email, check your spam, and then we're also going to drop the bonuses inside the Telegram chat. And that is the group. We didn't even mention that every single person that's inside of this program is going to be inside a Telegram chat where we can connect, we can build, you guys can start putting together your business partners. Comment great in the chat if you guys got that. Someone said 2 minutes. Danny said 2 minutes. Okay, so at 8:38, we're going to hit the end button. So that's where you're going to be able to get the bonuses. That's how to record. And also the recordings will be dropped in the Telegram chat as well once it happens. We can't get you recordings now. It didn't happen yet, but once the stuff happens, and we're going to give you guys the recordings and the bonuses, everything you're going to get now. And you want to be inside of the Telegram chat because we are having, tomorrow is Thursday, the next day is Friday. That's going to be our Financial Fridays where the financial planner is going to be on there talking to you guys this Friday, next Friday, the Friday after that, all the way up until November 9th weekend. The Telegram chat is going to be inside of the email. You get your ticket, there's going to be an email with all your details, and check your spam just in case. Everybody got that?
Check your
I
spam.
want to make sure I go
your
through all this stuff is clear
promotional
because people are answering similar questions. But go ahead, Joy.
I was saying, check your spam, check your like other folder, your promotional folder. Sometimes it goes there. What is the support email that if they have an issue with anything?
Team, can y'all drop the support email for
Okay,
anybody that needs support? Drop the support
right there.
email.
It's in the chat. It's going to be support@wealthychildchallenge.com. Okay.
Yep.
So we want to make sure that you get everything that you paid for, that you understand everything. Sometimes when you guys are checking out, y'all may, finger a key too hard. And a lot of times you put a .con and not a .com. So if you got a ticket, just screenshot the support email, because we want to make sure that if you purchase something that you have everything that you purchased, right? The challenge starts on November 9th. We're going to go every single night for the week. It's going to be recorded, so no matter what you have going on, where you're going to be, it's the information that is priceless, right? You're going to want to hear the information again. You may want to be able to, to share with your spouse, to your family. This is just not for you, right? Like once you get the information, we want you to then go to your mom, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your aunt. We are trying to make sure that families' legacies are protected. And we can't reach everyone. So we want you to understand everything so then you can now let your family know, hey, you guys need to have this, you guys need to have this, we need to do this. And just getting the information is going to be life-changing because something is going to happen down the road. And you're either going to say, I'm so glad I executed on having my structure correct. I'm so glad I executed on being able to buy the property at a short sale, not being able to sell the property because I had a judgment attached to it. I'm so glad I invested in the life insurance because now I have, or dang it, I took that class, I got the information, I didn't execute, and now I'm suffering a consequence that could have been avoided. So you're going to either pay now or you're going to pay later. If you pay later, you're always going to pay more. And so, I know it's the holiday time. This is the perfect time to make sure family is just not about eating turkey and having apple pie and sitting on the couch. Family is about making sure that everyone is good. Everyone is protected. Everyone has what it is that they need.
That's a fact. That is good. That is good. So we are past our 2 minutes. We hit our 4 minutes. So if you guys got in, I'm a strong believer. You give somebody 2 months to do something, they're going to take 2 months.
Correct.
You give somebody 2 minutes to do something, they're going to get that thing done in 2 minutes if they really want it. And I'm pretty sure everybody in here really, really wants wealth, but you got to go ahead and press that. I'm going to hold you guys accountable. You want it, do it. And it's as simple as that. So And if you guys agree with me, comment, agree in the chat. But most importantly, if you guys got your spot, comment I'm in. I just want to see your faces. And then also, if you guys want to be in Philly, comment 1018 in the chat. I want to make sure I can just keep an eye out for some of you guys' names. I'm excited to build with you guys. I'm excited to, connect with you guys. And most important, I'm excited to share with you guys some of these strategies that I just do on a day-to-day, that Joy does on a day-to-day, that Ramel does on a day-to-day. Because that's where the real value is, you guys being able to unlock these strategies. These are some things you can't just Google. Let me
Correct.
be honest with you, you can't just Google this. That whole three-tier thing Ramel broke down, life insurance agents don't even know that stuff.
Hmm.
And that's a fact.
In fact.
So I want you guys to understand you are getting some real wisdom here, and I can't wait to build with you guys. I'll be in Philly 1018, 1018. I'm in. Congratulations. I just got it. Woo. By the skinny of teeth, boy. Who's about to hit that button?
Shit.
But y'all, look, I appreciate you guys. I don't know if y'all want to add anything. We can close it out.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see everyone. I am super excited for everyone who's investing in themselves. I am excited, just to get all this information. I'm learning stuff every single day. Just listening to Boone and Ramel. And once you are in a situation and you're like, ooh, I can check that off, it is literally the best feeling ever.
Mhm.
It is the best feeling ever. So I am just super excited that everyone is coming with us on this journey to make sure that they're family. So once again, this is not just for you. Okay. So at Thanksgiving dinner, everyone at that house needs to understand what it is that they need to have to make sure that they're protected, that they're secured, and how they can also acquire wealth. Start having these conversations. You never know. Ramel, tell them about how all y'all family got together and invested in one thing. You may never know what your cousin, what your uncle has just sitting in the corner waiting to do something, and once you bring them to play, you may have the idea and they have the money.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you guys have like a family meeting? Y'all put something together, Ramel?
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna break that down.
Oh, okay. I'm giving
We're
to
gonna,
I'm giving to
we're
it.
gonna
My
break
bad.
that
My bad.
down. We're
My
gonna
bad.
break that down for them during the accelerated mentorship week. Matter of fact, we're gonna break that down in Philly. That's what we're gonna do on the Funded and Closed live podcast. I'm gonna break down a full blueprint. I would love to do so now, but we definitely got to wrap up. But
Okay.
yes, you have people right around you that's ready to invest, but they don't know how to invest. You have to show up and be that person, and we're gonna break that down in Philly, and we're gonna go in full detail during the week of the Wealthy Experience. So
Can
that's
you drop the link for the Philly event? People are in the comments asking how can they sign up for the Philly event.
Uh, let's see what we can do.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
That's the link for the in-person event on 10/18. And just so we clear, because I'm seeing the same questions, the in-person event is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And for those that need technical, it's going to be in South Philadelphia. It's going to be on October 18th. It starts at 5 o'clock. I swear and everything, you want to get there at 4:50. We already have 700 people RSVP. The building max out at 1,000. We got 700 already, and we 10 days away. You're pretty sure it's gonna go past 1,000. You want to get there at 4:50. I swear and everything. You want to make sure you do that. That's the first thing. The second thing is the 7-day mentorship that we're doing is on November 9th to the 14th. It is fully virtual. Every day will be recorded. You are going to get the recording. But that's the same questions I keep getting. Everybody put God in the chat if you guys got that. Like Ramel said, I don't know if y'all be under a rock. But that is the details of everything. That is the details of everything. He said, I don't know if you're under a rock. I don't know what. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, and then all the details, once you RSVP for the networking event, you are going to get an email and text message. I've tested it. We all tested it. We all got the text. We all got the email. And on the website, once you RSVP on the last confirmation page, it's going to get you. So you're going to see it multiple different ways, and you're going to get a notification the day before in the morning of just a reminder, let you know, hey, today's the event or tomorrow's event. Here's the address. So don't worry, but it's in Philadelphia. It's going to be in South Philadelphia. All right. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Team, can you drop the link in the support email just so everybody has it one more time? They got to send a email for something.
There we go.
Perfect, perfect. All right, appreciate you guys. Let's get it.
Good night.
Have a good night.